The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. While we're coming in here, while we're getting in, please make sure that you guys are subscribed, that you guys like this, that you guys share this, leave a comment. I already see you guys in the chat room already with the hashtag for the culture. I love it. Love to see it. We are so very close, y'all. We are so very close to that 10K goal. We're like really right there. We're right at the end, you know. Bam, to be totally honest, it's a little ambitious, but to be very, very honest, by next month, we should get it. We should get it by next month, to be very, very honest with you guys, at the rate we're going, you know, so we should definitely get it by that. And then we're going to release it for the culture podcast. That's going to come out early next month too. So you guys be looking forward for that, you know, so it's a lot of stuff that's going well. So by next month, we should definitely get it. Now, I'm going to say this because it's very relevant right now. I'm sure everybody knows that there was a mass shooting in Moni, I believe the name was pronounced. It was a mass shooter, an active mass shooter, suspected white supremacist, because that's how they roll. They haven't caught the guy, which is weird. And I'm going to save my total opinion about the situation until after they catch the guy or whatever they do and all of the investigation and stuff is done. I'm going to tell you right now on the record, I do not, and this is before any investigation is done or whatever, I don't believe to any degree, not slightly, I'm not even going to entertain the argument that this person was a lone wolf. I don't believe that. I don't believe that this person, his name is Robert Card, I don't believe that Robert did what he did and nobody knew about it. Nobody, not only did he not have help, nobody knew about it. It's way too, he's the way he's moving, it seems like he's moving and people are told to kind of leave him alone. Like there's an inside man on it. Now, this is just speculation. I have no proof of this. So I'm not spreading misinformation because I don't want to spread misinformation. But no, this, in my personal opinion, everybody can have their different opinions. So I don't want to get in trouble for saying this. I don't think he's acting alone. And I'm not going to speak on it until like the case is more detailed, you know, then I'm going to really give my firm opinion on it. But, you know, that's what I want to say for right now, for the time being. Okay. Shout out to everybody in here. Almost got 100 people in here. We got what? 56. It went to, oh wow, 70 people and almost less than like 3 minutes. Okay, so shout out to our good brother Torian Rain. I got this mug, palm colored tears deposited here. This is with that in the Petty Pendergrass logo. So yeah, I don't think he's alone, and it looks like y'all don't think he's alone either, but this is not the subject for today. So I want to start this off by saying, I want to make an announcement too. Today, I spoke at City Hall today in Chicago. I spoke on reparations and some of the stuff going on with Black Chicagoans. I really did. If you guys saw my Instagram, I really did want to post that today, but the footage isn't going to be out today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. But when it comes out, I'll let you guys know. All right. So you got the mug too. It's a good mug. Now we've been talking about them coming over here for a long time. We've been documenting this since Lightfoot was in office. Okay. Way back then, right? Now they're coming over here. And one thing that the media is being very, very selective about is the crime that they're committing. Now, when we talk about, you know, black on black crime or Chicago, or when the white supremacists like to say oh, well, what about Chicago? What about all the black on black crime in Chicago? They always bring the black on black crime excuse up for Chicago. They're even doing that with this mass shooter, right? They're doing that with the mass shooter, like, well, he killed 60 people, but Chicago. They're always doing that when my screen is freezing. Okay. My broadcast is freezing. Okay, I don't know. Damn. It's really nothing. I can't really fix that right now. I'm gonna have to like shut stuff down and restart it. So I'm just gonna try to work through it. If it becomes an issue, then maybe we'll start it back up again. But we won't be too long tonight because of that issue, right? So damn, it's really acting bad, huh? It's really acting bad. Oh gosh. Okay. We're just gonna try to work through it. We're just gonna try to work through it. I don't know why it's acting bad all of a sudden. But let me skip past that and let me just read through this, okay? Because we gotta, I guess, be quick about tonight's program. Because if it's freezing, I don't want it to freeze and kick me out like it did the last time. But it says migrants accused in Oak Brook Macy's theft released on electronic monitoring. Okay, so these are two. Now remember, they coming over. They're bringing a lot of Venezuelans over here. These are the two Venezuelans that they're bringing over. These are two of the hundreds and thousands that they're bringing over here. So they've been caught stealing from a mall. So we're going to look into this situation. It says charges have been filed against two Venezuelan migrants who allegedly stole over $1,700 from the Oak Brook Macy's store Monday evening. Albi Barrios Stevia and Rafael Matea Torres, both from Venezuela, currently staying in Chicago, have been charged with 1 count of burglary and 1 count of retail theft. Hope is looking good, y'all. Hope is looking good. Hold on, let me get something ready. Okay, hold on. Loading this up real fast. Okay. All right, there we go. Got that loaded. Continues to say, because I don't know, I told you guys I had computer issues. I'm still working on it. At about 5:27 p.m. Monday, Oak Brook police officers responded to a Macy's located at 1 Oak Brook Center regarding a retail theft in progress, prosecutors said. One of the suspects, later identified as Boros Esteva, allegedly entered the store, took 6 items of clothing with a value of over $300, and then left the store without paying for the items. As loss prevention authorities took Boros Esteva into custody, he allegedly broke away and fled on foot across 22nd Street. Following a brief foot pursuit, so these people are running away. Now, notice when black people run away, no, black people get shot in the back for running away, okay? And the black people don't have to be committing crimes, so you know. These black people don't have to be committing crimes, but when they run away, you know, it's a foot pursuit, and you know, that's just it. Our pursuits from running away are very fatal. Theirs aren't, okay? You don't really hear about them running away and getting shot in the back like they do with black people. So after the foot pursuit, this says the foot pursuit officers were able to take him into custody without any further incident. The second suspect, later identified as Mateo Torres, also entered Macy's. Man, these people love Macy's. Took 13 items of clothing from the store, and then attempted to leave without paying for them. Where are their family values, man? Where are the fathers, man? That's what I want to know. That's my big question. Where are the fathers at? These people don't have any family values, no family value. Where are the fathers? Because that's why black people commit crimes. Let them tell it, is because we just don't have any fathers. We don't know who our fathers are. Okay, all black fathers are deadbeats. Let them tell it, right? So where are their fathers? Okay, don't they come from hard working communities and they just need another break? Come on now. They're stealing. They're running away from the police. No respect for the law. I mean, where is Blue Lives Matter here? Causing these people to have a hard time. Now, come on. Where's the conservatism when you need it? That's what I want to know. Then it says loss prevention. We're right here. Loss prevention. And Oak Brook officers were able to take him into custody without incident inside the store. Quote, the National Retail Federation estimates that retail theft costs businesses nationwide more than $112 billion last year, up from $96 billion. So that, y'all, that literally means that it's $16 billion more in loss prevention, and we ain't even gotten to Christmas yet. We ain't gotten to Christmas yet. Halloween is the next holiday. Imagine when the Christmas stuff start coming out. Then the last year. And who do you think is doing all this stuff? All these smash and grabs. Because anytime you catch them, they're not black. Notice how all of these smash and grabs, anytime they catch one or two of the suspects, what race are they? I don't even got to say it. But they're not black. That's all I'm going to say. And it's not a coincidence. Continuing, these losses cause significant financial hardship to businesses and their employees. Higher prices for shoppers and loss of tax revenue for the entire company. So while we're wondering why are all our clothes going up, why is all this stuff going up, inflation is a part of it, and that's very true. But when people are stealing billions of dollars to Macy's got to make that money up. When they're stealing billions of dollars worth of stuff and a shoe store or whatever, Foot Locker or whatever the case is, now they're gonna have to make that money up by upping the price on y'all, on us. Okay. So then it continues to say the next court date for both men is scheduled for November 20th. Okay, that's this November coming up. As a condition of their bond, they're not even legal citizens. As the condition of their bond, both men will be fitted with an electronic monitoring device and are not allowed to enter any Macy's store. Really? They're not allowed to enter any Macy's store. So I guess they'll just go steal from Target or Walmart or something like that. Not Macy's, though. You guys stole all this money. No more Macy's for you. Really? Okay. So that's the end of that. So we know these people are going over here, breaking into cars, breaking into stores, and smash and grabs. They're doing all that stuff. And people are very tired of that. So now we have a situation where the shelters, the tents, and we've been talking about that for a minute. The tents are actually starting to be constructed now, and that's causing a whole lot of outrage. So the whole wait, hold on. Let me not do it like that. Let me play this. Hold on, y'all. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, now we can play it.
Protesters have staged loud demonstrations like this one for nearly a week now at a site the city says could soon house nearly 2,000 migrant families. Speaking in multiple languages, Mandarin, Spanish, and English, people of Chicago's Brighton Park neighborhood both revolted against and boisterously accepted the city's plan to place a massive winterized base camp for migrants in the Southwest Side community.
I want them to have buildings, but I don't want it to be here.
I hope that the neighborhood can find in their heart what I witnessed as a child. which is a welcoming spirit.
Our federal government recently settled 29,000 Ukrainians who were seen in their full humanity, and that is all that I want for all of our refugees, all of our neighbors.
No one told us about the construction is happening.
Bulldozing and water and sewage work at the privately owned 10-acre space at 38th in California caught the community off guard. After being attacked at a protest, Alderwoman Julia Ramirez confronted her constituents.
I was not aware that the city trucks had been working on the lot after the fact. I did not have aldermanic prerogative in this decision. I was not asked or given a vote.
We have more than a few thousand people who signed a signature here who said no.
Tonight, some of the answers they've demanded about when the tent shelter might open and who will live there finally came.
Now, what you might find interesting, what you might find tad bit interesting, is that you don't really see a lot of black people at this thing. And we're going to get into that. I think it's very interesting that you don't really see a lot of black people. Just, if you haven't noticed it, now you do.
Respect to a move-in date, that is still to be determined. Are making assessments on the space and the land.
Prefabricated insulated structure. One reason we are using base camps is because it's a turnkey solution. That means it comes with all the things that we need.
For all the outrage, plenty of people stepped up begging their neighbors to remember their own history of immigration.
Housing is a human right.
Now they're going to say stuff like that, and then it was just applause because after he said housing is a human right. Housing is a human right. Oh, I mean, there's houses back home, though. That's my thing. Hold on, there's houses back home. That's my thing. So people, when I looked at that, I was all like, why? It's interesting that there's not that many black people. It's not too many black people there, right? So when you look at the demographics, let me pull this next thing up. The racial demographics, you see here that by ethnicity, most of this neighborhood is Hispanic. And then it has 10% Asian population. Okay. Now remember, Chicago is one of, if not the, I like to say the, personally, based off of what I've seen, the most segregated city in America. So when you look at this, the black percent is really only 1%. It's only really 1% black, what they would say African American. So I think it's very interesting when you look at that, because they like to say, the black and brown coalition, the people of color coalition, and you got to stick through it because if you don't do this, you're supporting white supremacy. They'll say we're supporting white supremacy, right? They'll say you guys sound like you're supporting MAGA. You guys sound like Donald Trump supporters. You sound like Donald Trump supporters when we say, hey man, they don't need to be here, right? They'll say, oh, you sound like Donald Trump supporters. Now, when Asians, because the most of the people you saw who were upset about that were Asian. Now, when Asians complain, they only make 10%, right? Look, only 10%, a solid majority of them are Hispanic. And then the white can be Hispanic. But even if we say the white are non-Hispanic, most of them are Hispanic. Right? They don't even make a quarter of the population there, right? But when the Asians complain about stuff going on in their neighborhood, you don't see this gaslighting tactic that you see with us. See, anytime we complain about not being the heroes, anytime we complain about not making sacrifices for everybody and their mama, anytime we say, hey, you got to put our community before you put theirs, what are you doing? We got people who pay taxes in these neighborhoods. You have kids in these neighborhoods. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know who they are. You're just building this construction. The construction's gonna block traffic. What are you doing? When we say that to them, is, oh my God, well, the black and brown, and you should be able to relate to their struggle because y'all struggles are so closely tied and closely connected. They say that to us. Notice how nobody's going to say that to the Asian community that's making the same exact complaints. See, it's a problem when we make the complaints. It's a problem when we don't sacrifice. It's a problem when we don't suffer in silence. But when any other group goes through the same thing after we've done it to a lesser degree, and they start complaining and they start voicing their grievance out, then that's fine. Then that's acceptable. Then nobody gaslights them. Nobody shames them. Nobody guilt trips them. Nobody says how much they need to sacrifice, how much they need to endure, how much they need to compromise. Nobody's telling them that, all right? You don't have anybody out there telling them, oh, well, they're legal here. They're asylum seekers. Nobody's sitting up there telling these Asians that they're selfish. Nobody's telling these Asians that they're stupid. Nobody's telling these Asians that they sound like Trump supporters. Nobody's telling these Asians any of that. And they only make up in that neighborhood, which is Brighton Park neighborhood, they only make up 10% of that neighborhood. Now, when they put them in the black communities make up 80 to 90 percent of the neighborhood. And they'll be all like, oh, you guys just need to sacrifice and we all gotta endure, but they won't tell that to them. Let me show you some footage of what happened outside, because what happened outside was crazy too. Let's check that out. I already played the copyright thing, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem. So outside, because they was getting so much smoke from inside, outside they had to lock the doors. They just had to be all like, hey, ain't nobody coming over here no more. Yeah, that's it. We done. So look at all the outside. They trying to get in. Now, I want to see all of these people out here. You see whites, you see Asians. You don't really see black folks. Now, I want to see the mainstream media. Look at all these people. I ain't seen a black person yet. Okay. Now, do you see the police out there saying they're causing a public disturbance? Look at them. Do you see the police? Do you see the fire department out there talking about that this is a fire hazard? Because it is. That is a big fire hazard. They're blocking the doors. There's hundreds of people inside that building. Okay. The police sitting up there spreading them out, doing anything. You got 5 black people lined up someplace, and you got police down the damn block. Okay. You don't really see nobody really bothering me. You ain't gonna see the mainstream media sit up there and tell them that they need to go home, they need to stop complaining, they need to sacrifice. It's their people of color and their minorities, and they all need to understand. You ain't seen them say that. I mean, and they've been out there for a minute. They're out there protesting for a good minute. Now, do y'all see a single police light? Do you see a single police light? Do you see any police? Let me play it. Do you see any police at all? There's no police presence outside. Listen, y'all. When black people stand outside, it could be not nearly that big. It could be 10 black people sitting outside. 10 black people sitting outside. You got police, you got ambulance, you got fire department, you got the damn marshal is there. I mean, you got everybody's there. They got helicopters all over the place. They outside, nobody's touching them, nobody's bothering them. You ain't see a police at all, not even one. Okay, ain't see no firefighters. They sit up there, open the doors. This looks like, if you guys like really look at it, don't this look the same way that the Capitol invasion looks? This is kind of, if you look at it in detail, it's a lot of similarities there, right? It's quite a few similarities, but nobody's saying nothing. The media is not calling them out. The media is not saying, hey, Asians, stop being selfish. Hey, Asians, just look. And they've been out there for essentially all night. Now, this video don't go on that long, but they essentially been out there all night. Now you finally see some police. Now look how long it took. Look how long it took for you to start seeing some police lights. I fast forwarded in the video. Mind you, too. Look at it. Police ain't telling nobody to leave. They just sitting there. They not telling nobody to back up, spread out, get away from the door. They not saying none of that. They just kind of just standing there, just idling by, just standing there. I mean, and I just want to show you, they've been out there for a good minute protesting. So everybody in Chicago at this point is really turning up. And if you guys saw the last live I did about this situation, you saw the last live. Let me see if there's really nothing else. I mean, they just kind of sit there the whole time. You guys pretty much get the gist, right? So if you guys saw the last live I did, everybody was kind of, or at least them, the black people, the Chicagoans, they was really upset. But them, they was kind of like, oh no, we got to understand there are new neighbors and they've been through a lot of hardships and right? You saw that. But now when the budget started coming out, when the actual money started getting released and people could see the actual invoices of how much money is being allocated to them, and now that you're bringing them in their neighborhood, so they don't have a problem when it's a black neighborhood and black people got to sacrifice and black people got to suffer. They don't have no problem. But now when you're bringing them over to their neighborhood, oh, whoa, we gotta replan this. This ain't gonna work like that. That's what they're saying now. So, hey, this goes to show y'all don't mind when black people are suffering. That's fine with y'all. No assistance. No, like, yeah, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that to them. You shouldn't do that to them. But now when you're moving them over to your neighborhood, now y'all want to get upset. Okay. All right. Hey, as much as they should not be over here, they can hold their own nuts with that one. They can hold their own nuts with that one. But y'all, made a tweet about this earlier. I went to the police district where they're housing some of the migrants at. All right, the illegals. This is one. I think there's multiple, but this is one of the ones, the 19th district. And I went there to essentially assess the situation, like to talk to one of them. Now, what I found interesting when I was there was a bunch of tents outside. It was kids playing and stuff like that, but there wasn't a lot of men outside. There was some grown women like off to the side on their phones and stuff, but it wasn't really a lot of men outside. So I'm literally walking through like, damn, where are the grown men at? So I found one, right? I found one, and then I start talking to him. I'm like, hey, you wanna I'm here. Now it is interesting, right? What's really interesting about this is like, hey, I'm here, and I didn't tell him like I'm Afro Elite, you know what I'm saying, and I'm here to put this on my YouTube. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing some reporting to find out what's going on between you and between the city and everything like that. And he shook his head and everything like that. I pulled my phone out, and I'm all like, do you mind if I record? And I don't speak English. He was like, Spanish? And I'm like, no, I don't speak Spanish. So he pointed me to one dude. And that dude didn't speak English either. So I'm like, allegedly. I'm like, okay, so ain't none of y'all speaking English. This man pulled out his phone and he got Google Translate. So he's asking a question and then it's translating to English. And then I'm reading the question and I'm answering it back. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do what type of footage am I gonna do with this? So I'm sitting up there like, hey, I'm just asking you some questions. And then he asks, oh, are the questions problems? I'm like, not really. I'm just here to just, find out what's going on. So I'm talking to him, right? It's a couple of dudes around me. All right. Like a few of them was teenagers, but one of them was an adult, was grown. So I'm talking to the adult, clearly they all adults, but clearly the older gentleman. the older one, right? And then another dude, he's like a teenager. He showed up and he was speaking a little English. So they was like, oh, talk to him, talk to him. So I'm talking to him and everything. And every time I'm like, hey, do you mind if I like record this? They get real kind of like, so I'm like, okay. What I was thinking about doing, I'm like, damn, I can't say I talked to him and then just take my word for it, right? So what I had to do was I had to hold my phone. I'm like literally cuffing my phone so I'm not blocking the speaker, and I'm holding it close to my chest so it don't look like I'm recording. So I'm trying to record, you know, I'm leaning in so it can kind of get him because the kid's running back and forth. So I'm leaning in, and as we talking, and then he started getting distracted, then I was able to record. You know what I'm saying? Because before I was trying to use Google Translate. So first thing I asked him, I'm like, oh, what are you guys here for? And he said, work. That's the first, I swear. I wish I had that part recorded. I'm going to show you what I have recorded. That's the first thing. I'm like, what are you guys here for? He said, work. I'm like, okay. So, you know, and this came out of their mouth. So, you know, it's not no conspiracy. It's not nobody doing nothing. Oh yeah. Let me get to some of these super chats in a second. It's not nobody doing nothing. You know, they said they're here for work. So I'm like, oh, okay. So now I can't get upset. That's the thing, because I don't want to scare them off because they already kind of cautious. They already like don't want to talk to me. So I'm like, okay. So I'm all like, how you guys getting like your resources and stuff like that? And he was like, volunteers. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, what are because the clothes look decent. I'm not gonna lie. The clothes look decent because he said volunteers. I'm like, volunteers from what? And then he said the church. And then that's how the conversation starts in the video. I'm about to show it to you guys. But I was looking like, okay. Because I asked about food, and he's like, oh, it's volunteers. People are volunteering food from like the church and clothes from like the church. I'm like, really? So you mean like every single day, all of these thousands of y'all coming over here daily, thousands daily, and y'all just eating solely off of volunteers? I'm like, So I knew he was holding out on me. I'm like, okay, you holding out on me. Let me get to some of the super chats before we start playing it. Shout out to who had a super chat earlier. Shout out to our brother DSB for the 19 or the 99-cent super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Super sticker. And then shout out to Prosperity for the 199 super chat. He says, we handling this. Afro Elite, keep covering us. I definitely will. Thank you. I appreciate the support. I appreciate it. So let's play it. So this is where the video starts, right?
Oh yeah, how long have you been here?
I tried to move the camera because I didn't really want to get the kids. I really was trying not to get the kids, but I'm all like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I tried to move it a little bit, but I couldn't make it obvious.
I was in detention migration. I was in migration detention in ICE in Texas. So I exit the detention in August. 2 months before.
2 months before August?
Yeah.
Okay, and
in all, I have 6 months in this country.
6 months?
In this country.
Okay. Oh, so August this year, not last.
No, in detention.
Okay.
Immigration. ICE.
Okay.
ICE. Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Okay, ICE. Okay.
Now, okay. I'm gonna break it down because I think he's wrong when it comes to certain things. Right? And I wish I would have recorded it like long ways or whatever the case is, but I had to kind of be slick with it, right? So he says he was here since August, and then he says he's been here for 6 months. August was not 6 months ago. No, and then he said he was been here since 2 months before August. Okay. 2 months before August was that's the first thing he said. Then he said 2 months before August, and then he said, now check this out. He said, if you heard, that he was in ICE. ICE had him in detention. ICE had him in detention for 2 months, and then they just released him in the city. They didn't deport him. ICE held him, and then ICE released him. That's what he said. All right, let's continue. I don't even know if I need to make this a long stream or whatever the case is, but I'm gonna see.
What is the process to like citizenship?
Yeah, the processing the
You want me to talk into that?
processing the people judge court.
Okay.
Almost all have presentation different dates.
Okay.
This year, next year, 2026, 2024.
Okay.
This parole.
Oh, so
Okay. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna just do it like this from now on. I'm just do it like this because it don't really need to be like. No, let me see if I could do it like. Oh, I just canceled it out. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this then. Now, what he said is that they're on probation, and now a lot of times what he says, like he has a very thick accent. So I'll repeat the question again so the mic can hear it. Because he speaks low, it's a lot of background noise. I can't like hold the phone up to him, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta repeat it again. But what he said was that everybody's on probation until their hearing. But some of their hearing, he says some of their hearing isn't even till next year. That's why he pointed, he's like now next year, 2024, 2025, 2026. So all they're doing is having them come over here. The only process they're going through is getting a hearing date for citizenship. That's the only thing they're doing. So some could be, depending on when they got there, some could be this year, some could be next year, some could be the year after or after that. All right, so that's what they're saying now. Then now we're gonna continue.
everybody
Parole.
is on parole. Okay. So everybody's on parole. Okay.
Do you have job, my friend asked?
Do I mean, yeah, I don't have a job to give. I don't.
So then they start asking me for a job. They're like, "Hey, do you got a job?" I can't give y'all no employment. I cannot give y'all a job. One of the dudes sent up there, "Hey, ask him if he got a job." I don't got no job for you. Yeah, you heard him. He said he said, not
I
me.
have a job, but
not the news reporter or anything. I went to them and out their own mouth, they said they all on parole. Okay. And essentially some of them gonna be on parole for years until they get their hearing. Essentially, that's exactly what he said.
I can employ anybody. I can't employ.
No, can employ him.
No.
No.
So as far as jobs, they said like the work visas, right? So how does, after you get your citizenship, that's how that happens? You get the work visas, or before?
No, in the border.
Now listen to this, because I'm like, as far as working, what's going on with that? Like, what's going on with the work? Listen to what he says here.
Cross to border, immigration officer. Entregar, no me acuerdo cómo se dice entregar. So the officer, you go to processing. What is you sponsor? And what is that you sponsor? My sponsor that in Chicago. Okay. Then you go to Chicago, you processing over there.
Okay.
Right here.
So each city does its own processing.
Yeah, everybody are in processing.
Oh, okay.
I have people the immigration, him. Everybody have people.
Oh, okay. I understand.
So essentially what he just said was that if you guys hear my laptop fan in the background, just please ignore that. But essentially what he just said is that they need a voucher. They need like an American citizen to kind of vouch for them to speed up their green card application, is what he's saying.
We are wait reference.
Okay. So you need a citizen to reference, right? Okay. To help, is that gonna help speed the processing up, right? Okay.
single man, family, child, kid.
Okay.
It's different case.
Okay. When you came, did they promise you jobs, or because I want to know, because a lot of people are telling different stories about jobs. So
They're looking.
they're
looking
looking
for job. Everybody I going to looking job.
looking for jobs.
So
Okay.
only every day good. Someday good, someday bad.
Okay. So okay.
It's possible.
Okay.
Tomorrow no, maybe today no looking for job. Maybe tomorrow I share.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So the most of the jobs are coming from like Home Depot, or
Home Depot.
do people hire you
Home Depot.
Home Depot? Okay, and you guys like just kind of the staff. You help the staff
Yes.
out. Okay.
Hey, can I ask? Hey, my friend, do you have job for me?
Uh huh.
Ask him. I have a question. Do you have job? You
Uh-huh.
need a work
Uh-huh.
in the Home Depot.
Okay.
He wanna
Okay.
eat.
So hey, so essentially what he said, he said this before I was able to get my camera out, but essentially what he just said was that which is why, and this explains why there were no grown men. Because I'm sitting up there, I'm not about to talk to no kid, and I'm not trying to talk to the women. I'm like, where are the grown men at? When I went there. So essentially what he said is that what they do is, and this is his words, this is him confessing this. So anytime anybody says y'all don't know what the struggle is, you can reference this video right here. I went there, I talked to him. What he said is that they go to Home Depot, they pretty much launder around the parking lot and everything like that and ask people for work. That's exactly what he said. That's why he said some days are good, some days are bad. That's what he said. So they're sitting up there doing it, and it's a whole bunch of people illegally hiring them, because I'm like, y'all work for the staff, which I knew they didn't. I'm just sitting up there playing like I don't know. I know they didn't. So I'm sitting up there trying to like act like I don't know, but I really do, because the thing is that the only way y'all can get work, Home Depot ain't hiring you. You're not sitting up there sweeping up the floors on Home Depot legally. You're not doing that. That means somebody is looking at you. They more than likely a white dude sitting up there looking at you, be all like, oh well, I could use somebody to help paint my garage, and then they'll pick a couple of y'all out, pay y'all $50 or something like that, and then send y'all back. That's essentially what he's saying. That's why there are no grown men out there. So when you go to the Home Depot and you see them just kind of hanging out, they're hanging out looking for people to ask for jobs. That's why they was like, hey, do you got a job? Do you got a job? This is what they're doing. They're here already working illegally. He just confessed that. He just confessed to that. All right. Now, we're continuing.
No eat.
So what about the volunteers bring food? How does the food happen?
Yeah.
The food. Do the police, do they do anything as far as helping or food or anything?
No, la policía no. Volunteer. Police is only service restaurant in the state. The family over there.
Okay.
Inside.
So the families, the kids stay inside?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess the adults and the men, they stay outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Single men.
Single men stay outside. Okay. All right. So what is your relationship with the police? Do they talk to you, or?
Yeah, good. No problem.
No problems? Okay.
Officer ask whatever, ask question. You need help. It's good. The police is good.
Okay. That's okay.
No problem with officer.
Okay. And
the reason, I'm pause it. The reason why I asked that is because when we report on like the meetings and all that stuff, I'm asking that for a reason, because when we report on the meetings, they say, oh no, don't worry, the police got it. The police are monitoring them. The police have rules and stuff like that for them. So I'm sitting up there I'm putting two and two together. I'm sitting up there like, okay, there are no grown men here. So they're not sitting up there being followed. They're not being monitored. So that's why I'm asking, okay, what is y'all relationship with the police? Because let them tell it, right? They're all being monitored. They're not coming here commit crimes. No wonder the crime rate in all of the cities where they're allowing them to flood over here is spiking, because the police aren't saying nothing to them. The police aren't doing nothing. That's why I asked that question. Now I'm later on, I'm gonna ask a follow-up to that.
My final thing is, you said the processing, right? When you came to, because you came from the bus from Texas, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was there processing in Texas?
No, right here.
Oh, okay. So you came here, and then you waited. How long was the processing here?
In USA.
Yeah, in the Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
I have presentation next year.
You said, huh?
I have presentation with officer immigration next year.
Next year. Okay, so your processing is.
I don't know what is day. No, I don't know.
Okay.
What he said. Now I asked that. Because the thing is that we've been making the point. I've been making the point for long is that these people are unvetted. Nobody knows who they. I've been saying it. Have I not? I've been saying it. Nobody knows who these people are. So that's why I asked. I'm like, okay, you came from Texas, right? Was there any sort of processing in Texas before you got on the bus and came here? Essentially is what I said. He said no. He said the processing is here. So I'm like, okay, you're being processed, right? And then I said, you're being processed. And then he says, no, my processing is next year. So I'm like, oh. So what he was saying was, essentially they're not even in the process of being processed. That's what he's saying. All they do is when they send them over here or whatever the case is, all they're doing is locking them up for a little bit until they can get a processing date. But it's so many of them coming over here that they got dates for years, okay? Because he was talking about 2024, 2025, 2026. They're so backed up that they got years of processing dates for everybody who has applications. All right, that's what he said. So when anybody says, oh, well, no, we're making sure that they don't bring no criminals, they're not making sure, because out of their own mouths, there's no processing in Texas prior to coming to Chicago. So, and it's not just Chicago, prior to coming to Chicago, prior to coming to New York, prior to coming to the DC, prior to going anywhere. There's no processing. Once they get to the city, that's when the processing application date starts. They're not even currently being processed. He's saying it. They're not even currently being processed. It's just that they got a date and they just idling by until they processing date. That's essentially what's going on.
With person have you date the presentation.
Okay.
No, it's not same. It's not same processing. He have different processing. Only is same parole.
Oh, so the only thing that's the same is
parole.
the parole. Everybody's processing is different. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Per family have different processing. Single men have different processing. No all have processing same.
Okay. Are there any rules that the police or the city gives you, like where you can go or can't go or anything?
Now, if you notice right, as he's answering the questions, you hear people start like speaking in Spanish and stuff like that. Then people start kind of giving him some looks. Like, hey, you kind of being a little mouthy right there. People start giving him some looks. So that's when I'm all like, okay, let me try to wrap this up. Let me try to wrap this, because I already know how they act around black folks. So I'm like, yeah, let me wrap this up and let me bounce, right? So they start kind of talking or whatever the case is. So that's why I wanted to ask my final follow-up question about any type of restrictions, right? So check out how he responds. Let me take it back a couple seconds.
No, not all have processing same.
Okay. Are there any rules that the police or the city gives you, like where you can go or can't go or anything?
Can you repeat?
Do the police give you rules, like tell you not to go here or not to go someplace else?
I don't understand.
Like, okay.
So now y'all heard all the whispering in Spanish, right? Everything was cool. I'm asking him questions about the process and about everything like that, everything. Then you hear people in Spanish start speaking, and then I ask him a question. He's like, what do you mean? I don't understand. I don't understand. Huh? And I'm sitting up there like, we've been having this conversation for several minutes now. You understood me, I understood you. Now that people start to be all like, hey, you doing too much, you need to stop. Then I asked him a question. Now he like, I don't understand English anymore. That now he's starting to act like that. So now it's really a signal in my like spidey sense going up. Like okay, I really need to go. I really need to go now.
I don't understand this question, bro.
Okay. Do the police put rules, give you rules, like tell you what to do, like what you can't do?
No.
Oh, okay.
Normal. This police is normally. No.
Okay, the police. Okay, they leave you alone. Okay. Well, okay, then that's okay. Thank you. I appreciate. What was your name?
Gabriel.
So okay, he said Miguel.
Gabriel. Okay.
Gabriel Alejandro.
Alejandro. Okay, I'm James.
All right. So that's that, right? Then after that, I'm like, hey, what's your name? Just to not seem hostile. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody like following back. I park like right across the street, so I'm literally like looking at my car the whole time. So I ain't like really tripping like that. But I'm all like, okay, like let me not seem hostile. You know what I'm saying? Let me say, hey, what's your name? And then I bounce. So I got out of there. But I wasn't gonna sit there and like kind of because I was already, when you go to that type of situation, you already have to be very cautious of everything around you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be very cautious of the fact that these people have a lot of anti-blackness in their community. All right, they already don't like that. All right, they're already coming over here committing crimes. You already have to understand that. So when you're gonna go up to them or whatever the case is, I'm not trying to like be friends with them. I'm not trying to get too comfortable or whatever the case is. I'm there on business. I'm there on business. I'm there handling business. So I'm asking questions and I'm getting feedback. I swear I wish though I could record earlier, just based off of their reaction when I first turned my camera. When I first showed them the phone, I'm all like, can I record? Because what I don't want to happen is for me to be talking and then me pull up the camera and they like, stop. No more questions. So I'm all like, hey, can I record? And then it was all like, some dude was sitting down, and when I showed him my phone, I'm like, you mind if I record? When the other dude walked up, you mind if I record? He stood up and he said something in Spanish. And then I'm all like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, okay. I'm sitting up there. I gotta adjust to it, so I'm all like, I ain't gonna record, but I'm like, I ain't gonna show the face and y'all faces and all that. So I ain't gonna do all that. So as I'm doing that, I'm all like, okay, well, I can't record, so I ain't, on my phone. So I'm sitting up there. I'm literally with one hand. I'm talking to him like this with one hand. I'm turning my phone on record, and I'm keeping it right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it right here in a position where you can kind of hear what he's saying, but there's kids, running around. So hopefully we was able to we was able to break that down. This is why I keep everything he said. I'm like, oh, so you saying this? Oh, so you saying that? Oh, so you say, I'm doing that because I can hear it, but I want y'all to be able to kind of hear what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you should. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I should have done that. But like, I need to get like the audio record app thing that just records the audio. Because the thing is that I needed something that was going to record with the phone screen off. That's what I needed. something that was going to record, the phone screen was just going to be off. So I could just kind of like hold the phone up. But my thing was this, like, even if I did and I held the phone up to his mouth, he would still think like, okay, you recording me. You know what I'm saying? So I still try to, I'm trying to like not scare nobody off because I want honesty. That's the thing. It's not like I'm scared of them being upset. I want honesty. And I could already tell he was holding back a little bit. I could already kind of get that feeling. So I'm like, okay, if I show you, oh, this is going to be recorded and I'm going to put this on YouTube, then I knew for a fact he wasn't going to, he wasn't going to do it. So I'm all like, oh, no, I'm trying to make them feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying, with that. Yeah, I'm gonna get a audio record app. Yeah, I'm gonna check one of those things out. Shout out to the super chat from Prosperity again, the 199 super chat. He says, please check out Illinois petition state representative David Meyer. David Mayer, or is it Mayer? Mayer or Meyer? Mayer. Check him out. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, I appreciate that. David Mayer. Okay, check him out. But yeah, that's what I had to you say it allows you to do it with your phone off. Okay, that's what I needed. Okay. That's what I needed. Okay, that's what I needed. So I'm gonna definitely check that out. I'm gonna definitely check that out. But essentially what he was saying, he confirmed everything a couple of times. The reason why I asked him multiple times is because I wanted to see if I was gonna get like a more in-depth answer, like the second time around asking a question. Because the first time I was asking about because he immediately came out talking about we want jobs and we be going to Home Depot for jobs. That's why I'm like, okay, you said Home Depot or whatever the case is. And then he was like, yeah, we looking for jobs. So I'm like, you working for the staff? I was hoping he was gonna be honest. I'm like, oh, okay. He wasn't really being honest with it. And there's volunteers out there, but he wasn't really being honest with the volunteers like that either. Cause I'm all like, volunteers maybe a day or so. There's no way in the world the church is going to feed and clothe every single last one of y'all breakfast, lunch, and dinner months and months and months and months and months into y'all been here for over a year, and it's thousands of y'all. The church alone is not doing that. We already know that. So that's why I'm all like, okay, you saying the church. Now notice, if you guys do that, first off, be very, 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 very careful. Oh, bring somebody. I know I didn't, but y'all bring somebody, right? Don't push when you're doing an interview. The principle of an interview is to get the person you're interviewing to talk. Is not to debate. Too many times people do interviews and when they disagree, they push back. Listen, sometimes you can do that if it's like a candidate, like a political candidate. That's the only time you really see people doing that, when they pushing back when it comes to like political candidates and stuff like that. That's really that. But besides that, you shouldn't push back with interviews. Besides that, whatever they say, you just not go along with it and agree, but you just kind of like, oh, okay, let them speak, whether they telling the truth or not. Let them speak. You know what I'm saying? And then later, if you notice, like later, I'll do my breakdown. I'm not sitting up there being like, no, you said, but the statistics. I'm not trying to debate them. I'm trying to have them give me information on what's going on their end. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to report to the family. That's what I'm trying to do, you know. But if I was out there being all like, no, there's no way y'all got new J's on, the church didn't give you. If I did that, they would have been like, oh, okay, no more questions. You know, so you got to kind of play it out. Be like, oh, okay. You notice I didn't even really give opinions. I didn't really give my opinions. I was just saying like, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Next question. No, okay. Oh, I'm just okay. Just do that. Let them talk. They'll tell you. They're not gonna be totally honest, 110%, but they'll tell you. They'll tell you. You know, you got more information now. Now, when the news starts reporting that, oh, they need work visas, you can bring up, hey, they said they already working. So what's up with that? What's up with what's up with HR and human resources? Because they're not supposed to be working. What's up with that? Who is hiring them? What's up with that? You know what I'm saying? What? Because there's no grown men there. That means they all out doing something. Either they robbing, committing crimes, stealing, bringing it back. That we just talked about earlier today about them in Macy's stealing thousands of dollars worth of clothes in Macy's. So either they stealing thousands of dollars worth of clothes and bringing it back to the shelters, or they out there working illegally, waiting years. And that's another thing I wanted to harp on. I had three main points I wanted to harp on. The first thing was the work. Y'all doing work, or are y'all not doing work? And what is the work going on? How's that work situation going on? That's number one. Number two is the vetting in the citizenship process. How are y'all being processed in this country? And then number three is the restrictions. What are y'all restrictions that you have when you come over here? Okay, so that's when I got to the work, they said they working at Home Depot. They're staying, which is not legal. There's laundering at Home Depot, begging for jobs. That's number one as far as the works, right? Number two, as far as the processing, I'm asking, do you guys get processed prior to coming to the city? He says no. We get processed when we're in the city. But we don't even, and so I'm all, you're being processed. He's like, oh no, my processing date is next year. I'm not being processed. I just got a date. He says ICE picked me up, but ICE essentially let me go. So I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Then I asked the next thing, okay, so what are some of the rules? Because they're telling Black Chicagoans, they telling us we need to they're fine, they're not doing anything, you don't need to be worried, you know, they're not in danger to you, where police are patrolling, they're looking out for them and all that stuff. Now you know they're not doing that. Because I asked, oh, what are some of the rules? They ain't no rules, not really. They ain't saying nothing to us. We cool. They cool. Ain't no rules, ain't no restrictions, ain't no y'all need to be here at this time, y'all can't go here, y'all can't do this. No rules. Those are really the three main points that I wanted to get, or questions that I wanted to speak about when I was interviewing them. Those are three main points. So now, anytime that they tell you anything different, you can reference that and you can be all like, oh no, they said out their own mouth that that's not the truth. So you guys know Oak Brook is not a city in Chicago. That's outside the Chicago. That's outside Chicago. So they're leaving Chicago, going to these places. Let me see. Let me just double check. Hold on. Because I keep getting Oak Brook confused with some other mall. Oak Brook. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I think that's like, where's Oak Brook? Because that's the side I'm not super familiar with. But yeah, that's out. Yeah, I think Oak Brook Mall is outside of Chicago. I'm gonna see. Yeah, Oak Brook. Yeah, I think that's outside of Chicago. The Oak Brook Mall is. That's on the yeah, exactly. Hurricane. That's on the western suburbs. I knew it was west, but I'm like, is it still? Because people love correcting me. They're like, no, it's still technically Chicago. It's not. I know it's not, because I know there are places in Oak Brook that's not. I'm trying to figure out where the border is. So they're leaving Chicago. They're not even anywhere around the shelters anymore. They're leaving Chicago. So if anybody says anything, you can say, no, Afro Elite, he went down there. He talked to them. They told him what's going on. Okay. They told him, ain't nobody, you don't even know if that's his real name. How are they getting out there? That's a good question. Some of them, I mean, some of them have vehicles, because let's be honest, they've been coming to Chicago for a long time. It's not just recent. It's been this huge influx within the last few years or so. But some of them already have family members out here. Okay, some of them have family members out here. And let's be honest, a lot of them been carjacking folk. So a lot of them do have vehicles. A lot of them got vehicles. You know what I'm saying? And then this is not, I mean, it's outside Chicago, but you can, if you get a bike, you can, depending on where you are in Chicago, you can take your bike there. You know what I'm saying? More than likely, you ain't gonna take your bike there and you know, steal some clothes and then ride your bike back to the shelter. So more than likely, they have some type of car or something like that. That's probably what they have. Yeah, down by those areas. I know Villa Park, Lombard, Glen. Yeah, they're down by there. I knew. I'm like, Oak Brook is not Chicago, right? Oak Brook is. I'm like, is it? It's not far. It's not. It's not like super far. You can. It's not far from Chicago at all, but it's not Chicago, which means they're leaving Chicago, and it's not. It's damn near not next to the 13th district. Now they got a bunch of shelters around, so it could be a closer to, like, you might have a shelter close to the edge where Oak Brook might be, like close to the west side, but you know what I'm saying, it's not Chicago. All right. Yeah, it is. It's like 30 minutes out. You know what I'm saying? It's especially depending on traffic or whatnot. So they're probably closer to the edge. You know, they're probably not at the police station. They're probably at a shelter or something like that. Probably what the situation is. But yeah, I went out there. I knew questions needed to be asked, and the mainstream media was not going to ask those questions. So we had to do that over here. That's what we had to do. So I went out there. So if anybody says anything from now on, you guys let them know. Hey, our brother Afro Elite, he went out there. We got live footage of him talking to him. Okay. And they just being honest about their situation. All right. Now I can't leave here. I appreciate you guys sticking through. Please make sure you guys leave a like. I understand we had some technical issues earlier, but I can't leave here without having you guys get ready for this. Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. To the brothers and sisters, the For the Culture podcast is coming. Okay, it's on its way. It will be here soon. It will be like none other. Okay, and right now, especially with all of the things we got going on, we definitely need this. Well, we definitely need this. Okay, we got more flyers coming out. We got more advertising coming out. We trust me, y'all gonna love it. I ain't gonna try to spoil it, but y'all are going to love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely. All right. For the culture, let's get that hashtag going. I see you, brothers and sisters. Let's get the hashtag, the For the Culture hashtag, circulating. Now, with that being said, my brothers and sisters, I want you guys to also follow me on my various social media pages, which is Afro Elite on Instagram and then The Afro Elite on Twitter. And both of those links are in the description below. All right. Also, too, I want to give a special thank you. I know yesterday I wasn't able to upload my video yesterday because my laptop fan is having issues. It's still kind of having issues now. If you guys heard it, it's kind of like running really hot. So I got to get a new fan. So it was some stuff. I took it apart, cleaned it. That's not really fixing the situation. So I'm going to be working on that. But some of y'all was out cash apping me, be all like, hey, this is to repair the laptop. So hey, that means a whole lot to me because that's the type of stuff that helps keep this thing going smooth. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me having to take breaks to be all like, hey, I can't do it until this part come or whatever the case is. Instead of me having to take breaks, I get to, you know, and use that money. I'm having more money accessible to upgrade equipment before it even gets to a point where it needs to be replaced. So I appreciate that. All right. So I definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much. Late to the party, but you still here. You still here. You ready for the culture? Everybody's ready for the culture. I love it. Love it. Also, please do not forget, of course, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell, because that way you don't miss out on any future content, just in case I get shadow banned. But just in case you don't miss out on that. Also, you know, ever so often refresh, especially with the days you know I'm going to be premiering, so you guys hit that notification bell, so that way if you miss the notifications, you have a second one come up, you know. So because sometimes the notifications don't even get out. That's another reason why I post on my social media every time I go live as well. You know, I also post on my social media. But now with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, be one salute to every single last one of you all, and you all have a good one.